What up, everybody? Before we get to this video real quick, let me show you our new shirt. Working with Blip Shift in our store. It's called the Grand Canyons. It's a vintage Formula One style shirt, and it is only on sale for now through April the 11th, and then it's gone forever before we bring you another new shirt next month. Hit the link in the description or just go to thesmokingtire.com, click on the store tab, it'll take you right there. Now, enjoy this video.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to a really cool truck. This is a very detailed, complicated, amazing thing that we're going to get into. This is a 68 Chevy C10 with basically no corner, no stone unturned. It's really amazing. So we're going to get to all that in a minute. And we're actually going to do a bonus video of this because there's so many pieces, so many modifications, and so much amazing, beautiful craftsmanship. So if you want to see the bonus video with the walk around and kind of the inner, under the hood stuff, click the bonus video in the description. But this is Chris. Chris, thank you very much for bringing this on a warm day. You have an interesting relationship with this truck, actually. I don't know if you want to explain it or not. You can just...
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 2012, I was working for a shop called Creations in Chrome, and we basically were a fabrication custom paint shop, and we built this as a display vehicle to kind of show our talents and what we can do for our customers. And I was basically kind of in charge of making sure that things were built as we would have done it for ourselves, for this one particular customer. And once that happened, the truck was built. It debuted at SEMA in 2012, and then from there we basically just took it on the road. We did a bunch of shows with it. It stayed at the Peterson Museum for about 8.5 months, and it is what it is now. It just gets parked in a garage. Doesn't get driven much, actually.
It doesn't get driven much, but just take us through real quick, like engine, transmission, and suspension.
Absolutely.
And then we'll get on the road and we're going to talk about a lot more stuff.
Absolutely. So unlike every other C10 out there, this is not an LS powered truck. It's a big block Chevy, so it's a 502. It's the Ramjet. It's a GM crate motor, pretty much bone stock, except we added a Vortec supercharger to it. It's a Vortec YSI.
So the 502 with a Vortec on it.
Yep.
Because they wanted something like efficient on the highway, just something to like get around in grocery shop with.
Did a solid maybe 7.5, 8 miles to the gallon.
Like a Prius, but slower. Like
exactly.
Just turn Prius down a little bit.
Yeah.
When you emailed me, it was like, hey, I got this C10 with a big block and a blower. I don't know if you want it. Like, yes. So it's a stunning truck. And then the transmission is?
It's a 4L85E. We literally blew, I think, 2 4L60Es before that. And then decided, you know what, it needs something better. Added a billet converter from GM, added the GM computer to it. So it's basically, it's a computer controlled transmission, added paddle shifters to it. Really cool mode. It's a dual mode transmission. There's a switcher here on the dash. You can flip it, go into like race mode. So it'll basically bump up line pressure and it'll keep the gear until you pedal out of it. Or you can put it in the street mode and it's just a nice, soft, easy cruiser.
It's really great. And what's nice is the truck's black on the inside, so you have a lot of these switches, but they kind of hide themselves. If the interior was red or yellow or whatever, you can't do as you have to cover those things up a little bit more. But it still looks really nice. I mean, the dash is beautiful. These gauges are awesome. This is very ornate.
Yeah, styling wise, GM got it
really
right. I mean, there's not much that we wanted to change on it. Didn't want to like shave the door handles, do all kinds of weird stuff, take the body trim off. Like the styling is perfect from GM in my opinion. So we just kind of kept that, highlighted that, and didn't really want to deviate too much from the factory style.
I think you did a really good job.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, we're going to get on the road in this thing, and we're going to keep talking. It's going to make a whole lot of noise. So you said there's a startup procedure. Turn on master power.
Yeah, just master power.
And then
so drive, you can put it into, it might be kind of tough to see here with all the light. So it's a 4-speed here. You can do overdrive, but if you wanted to put it into race mode and have full control of the paddles, put it into drive and then just go ahead and flip the switch up to the red part. So
okay.
It's up to you, whatever way you want to go.
I'll start it normal, and then I think we will want to experience that.
Yeah, push down. Really hard to see with that.
It's deep.
Yeah,
okay.
You're good. You're in overdrive, so.
E-brake off, all right.
Yeah.
Can we just appreciate how good this sounds idling? Like whistling and like
God, it sounds so good.
It sounds like a tea kettle.
straight and the wheel's straight.
Yeah, make sure we're at a
and
runway.
roll into it, because if you stomp on it, it'll just slide them up.
I'm gonna get used to it in the beginning first. You know, I got left foot braking, we got manual brakes, so you got wheel-wood brakes, automatic transmission, giant engine. What was the dyno number?
It was like 640.
Yeah, 640 wheel.
What's crazy is torque. So at 2,300 RPM, it's like 525 foot-pounds of torque, and it just goes like flat across with a slight upward angle.
Wow.
It's instant torque. Once that converter locks up, you're moving.
that's V8s, right? That's big engines. You can't.
And that's why
replace
we
it.
didn't want to go with the LS. We wanted to keep a big. It's actually a factory big block truck. So wanted to keep a big block in it, and then a big block and boost. Like, you cannot beat that combo.
No, you can't for an experience and sound and torque. You can't beat it. And now what's weird in my head, it's like when we get these new turbo cars, and we go, oh, the torque comes on at 1700 and hits too fast,
right?
And it stays there. We don't like it, but in a car like this or an engine like this, we do. So it's kind of like it's almost like I don't know, it's unfair. It's a hypocrisy that we have. It's a little windy. I hope the volume is doing okay, the audio's doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm just coasting down the hill, everybody. I'm not going to drive real fast down a hill in a brand new, clearly very expensive, well-built truck. What car does this transmission normally come in? The 4L85?
I think it's out of a GM truck, I think. Yeah, 4L85E. It's actually in the Chevy Performance catalog. You can buy the whole package. I mean, even down to the motor. 502 Ramjet, 4L85E in there. There's a billet converter and the trans computer. All of that's available from the GM catalog.
Here we go.
And then we just added paddles to it.
Whoa! I had no sense of speed because there's so much wind noise and like there's so much going on. There's just this like moaning, angry thing happening under the hood. We got wind going by with the little 8 windows open.
You can like really feel it like in your chest, into the seat. Like,
Totally can.
There's not many cars that do that.
I'm gonna slow down to like 20 and then go up to whatever.
Yeah.
Because you guys know this isn't like a canyon carving vehicle. It does have Hotchkiss TVS system, right?
Right, full Hotchkiss TVS. Like I said earlier, this truck debuted in the Hotchkiss SEMA booth back in 2012. And yeah, it has their full package.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, this is kind of like the Chevelle video I did where I kept interrupting the guy after I asked a question because then I could like focus on driving. And it was just...
It'll get out of shape really quick, so yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely going to be cautious. I'm rolling into it. I'm not trying to like lay it. If you want to lay 11s, that's for you. So when this car came out, I'm going to slow down a bit. The brakes do take like, you need a little pump and then...
It's still a manual brake system on it.
So I'm just rolling into it. I'm not going to...
So if you wanted to go... If you want to go into the manual mode, like the race mode, you can do that.
Hit the switch.
So you got to go into downshift from there, and now now you can just paddle out. So go to downshift on the left. There you go.
These paddles feel great.
The little arrow's gonna. Yeah. Now you're in second. Just step on it.
Whoa! That shifts.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. It's a pretty solid system as far as an automatic trans goes. It's pretty direct.
I mean, if the number is accurate, that shifted like as fast as, I don't know, a fairly modern dual clutch. That was incredible. Wow, that was rad. And these feel great. This is such a mechanical interaction with these paddles. That is fantastic. Wow, my brain's all scrambled in so many places. So when the C10 came out in 59, but 60, it was an interesting truck because it had like a drop ladder frame, I think it's called, right? So like the body sits a little more in the frame, a little bit lower center of gravity, eye line, easier to get in and out of compared to like the Fords at the time. And then it also had independent front suspension in the two-wheel drive trucks,
right?
Which made it drive. I mean, think about back then. Most things were really like literally coming out of tractors because that's what they had, and so they were using solid axles in the front, leaf springs. They didn't drive great. My friend had a '57 Chevy pickup. The steering wheel was this big. Dude, I mean, we both had really good biceps
little knob on
driving
it?
it.
Yeah.
He didn't have the knob because it was illegal in California. I'm gonna turn around here, but you know, it's a truck. Like, it was a truck from the 50s. It was meant to haul stuff around. It wasn't like a luxury vehicle like they are today. What was interesting though is that they still had a lot of the same sales philosophies. Like a few years after the C10 came out, they had a new package for it, and it just had like nicer creature comforts and a different interior. It's like the same thing they do today with the Platinum Edition, whatever else. It's just back then, you know, the only thing they had for creature comfort was like, this one has 2 doors instead of 1 door.
So fun, right?
What I love about muscle trucks, because part of me thinks they make no sense. I mean, they don't handle well. I think, you know, shape-wise, like a Camaro is a more, you know, it's like a beautiful shape because it's got curves to it and all that stuff. But these have a like opera house effect inside, because we were sitting in a bowl of metal, really, and it just makes everything like turned up to 11. Oh my god! Dude. Oh, the boost gauge, the gauges are beautiful. You know, you got to get the brake pressure in it, and then the manual brakes. Like, you plan your descent. We're planning our deceleration a bit. I wouldn't take this to an autocross or a track day at all. Steering's got a little play in it. The wheel feels really nice. I mean, it's billet aluminum on the backside, a little bit of rubber on the front. It's got a nice feel to it. Yeah, it's got some play in it. But it's a muscle truck. If you're thinking about that, you're thinking about the wrong thing. Oh, muscle cars are so great. Old stuff is the best.
I love this truck. It's just such a blast to drive. I mean, drive it fast, drive it slow and cruise. Like, it is perfect for any time you want to drive it.
The seats are out of a Mustang, you said. They're real
out of a
comfortable.
Mustang, a 2012 Mustang GT.
Okay.
Just chopped off the headrest and recovered it with leather and diamond stitch pattern, and it's good to go.
I like that with old cars, we
kept the factory,
we assume
Mustang
like
seatbelt.
physics doesn't matter anymore. We're like, yeah, no headrests, because they didn't have them in the 60s, but like if you get it, you're still doing this. They feel great, the bolsters are great, the diamond stitching on the door panel's nice, the the window roller, like there's no play in it, it just touches like that where you roll down the window and it moves so smoothly. Like, this is very well done. Everything in here.
I think, for the most part, as much as I can remember, everything on this truck is brand new. And a lot of that, just a big shout out to the aftermarket. I mean, this truck has been embraced by the aftermarket. You can literally find any part for this truck, brand new, online somewhere or in a catalog.
The C10s are getting, I mean, I think part of it is probably that all the popular muscle cars got real expensive.
Right.
And so you start looking for what else is out there.
Oh, it wants to go.
Oh, it wants to go. Whoa! What's fascinating about sitting up so high is it makes speed seem slower than it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
When you look at the speedo.
Yep, yeah.
I did that earlier driving up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm like 75.
A Miata at 40 feels like this car at way more than that.
Yeah, and with the torque, it'll just pull the gear so easy.
It does. It really does. I don't really know where red line is. It doesn't seem to really matter. What a vehicle. So I think, other muscle cars are getting so expensive. And there are definitely people that are truck people, and they're like, I always loved the C10, or I always loved the 57 Chevy, or whatever, or Ford. And they're not expensive. I looked on eBay. I mean, you can get these as low as $1,200. There was a couple of crazy people trying to sell like bone stock ones for $50. I think they're hoping the market follows them.
Well, short bed C10s are really, really hard to find. It's gotten to the point where you have guys taking the long beds and cutting them down to a short bed because it's so hard to find a short bed. So, yeah, I mean, it's for sale. If anyone wants to buy it,
It's definitely more than $1,200.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
It's just, man, I mean, this is like, I don't know, like I grew up looking at hot rods a lot. I had all the magazines. I went to Hot August Nights a bunch. And what's been cool is, like, I think my brain got a little saturated after, 20 years of it. So I took a break, and I also was then pulled to cars that turn and stop, to be frank.
Right.
We didn't have the Pro Touring thing when I was a kid. It didn't exist. Like, my car in high school couldn't turn or stop, and no one, not only was mine bad, but no one discussed that as an option.
Right.
But nowadays, you've got the aftermarket support is really good. You don't have to go full six figures. If you don't want to, like, the TBS systems from Hotchkiss can be pretty affordable or expensive, which are great. So you can take these cars that you fell in love with for whatever reason, and then make them drivable. You know, make them a pretty comfy experience, a safer experience, really. And they're still special. You know, it doesn't ruin nothing about the aftermarket. I think has ruined anything about old cars.
It's made it better.
It's made it all
definitely.
better.
You know, they don't make trucks and cars like they used to, but that's both a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, good thing is they're great styled vehicles. They look amazing. The bad thing is they handle terribly in their stock form. But the aftermarket, you know, whether you go with just a simple bolt-on deal like the Hotchkiss stuff, or a full Ring Brothers frame, or like Roadster Shop frame, like you can get as crazy as you want, or whatever you want to fit your budget. So.
The sound. Oh my God.
You have the blow-off valve. You have the blower line.
I could drive this for an hour.
Yeah.
I know that people wouldn't watch that. I want to keep talking about this truck, and that's why we're going to do the bonus video. So we're going to pull in, and we're going to do a nice detailed walk around, because there is so much to see on this thing. There's just, you know, it's an experience that I think really you can't get in a new car, and that's because cars are quieter, they're safer, they're better built. You know, there's more material. Everyone complains about, oh, the car's loud on the highway, they make it quieter. And I think that has made for a better living experience overall in a car. But you don't, I mean, there's no like...
It's just a different experience. You have metal and paint and chrome on the interior. You have plastic on your vehicles. It's just such a different experience.
If I could speak in font, this is an experience in bold with italics. And driving, you know, you could drive a new GT3, like that's a pretty strong experience, but it's different. But anything else below it, you're like, all right, my M3, like it's quick, it handles well and whatnot. And if I have to get sideways to really turn on, you know, and smile. And in this thing, it's just rolling to the gas at 20 miles an hour, and you hear that and this, and it feels special. And it feels great, and it's really well done. You know, it's funny that. Yep, like the steering moves a little bit in the center, as they do.
Adds character.
Manual brakes add character, but like considering where they came from and now how they corner and stop and where they can go, it's really good. It's gorgeous too. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's do this. We'll do this bonus video. Thank you guys for watching. Buy our t-shirts on Blip Shift. It helps us a ton. Listen to the podcast and join us in Super Chat on the podcast and ask your questions, and we'll answer them. And now we're going to go look